Hello there again, my wonderfully angry mercs, and get ready to sharpen your pitchforks one more time. Wait a second. I'm talking about the good part of competitive this time. Guess I won't be directly insulting those tunnel vision people this time around. I'll just have to do it indirectly by complimenting the things they hate with all their being. So last week I posted a rather controversial episode in which I slagged the official TF2 competitive mode off because whiny babies from other forms of non-official competitive play were trying to force their meta and their way of play into the game. And I said that wasn't what the game mode was about, and that trying to force it into the game by leaving a match and ruining everyone else's time was a dick move. You can go ahead and watch that controversial episode, well, controversial by my standards, by clicking the annotation currently playing on the screen. This week, though, I will elaborate on why their meta shouldn't be in the game, aka why the official competitive mode is good. Let's get to it then, Crikey! I'm Australian! This game comes to you upon download, with the ability to play as 9 classes. And if you can manage to trade or get in drops non-standard weapons, you can use those however you like. There is nowhere in the base game that forces you into a specific class, and there's nowhere that forces you to use a specific weapon for any reason. Sure, servers can enforce those rules themselves, but for the same reason I think it doesn't belong in competitive, I feel it doesn't belong there either. See, a large part of what makes TF2 so unique from other shooter games, and part of the reason it is still live and enjoyed by quite a few people nearly 10 years after its release, is the freedom to do a bunch of weird classes and loadout combinations to suit whatever your need at the moment may be. The ability to change to any of the other 9 classes, and to use whatever weapon combinations you feel you should use at the moment is great. And I can't think of another game that has features like that. Call of Duty forces you to use preset loadouts that can't be changed once you're in a game, and there's no class changing in it whatsoever. Counter-Strike limits you to money, or in some modes lets you change weapons when you're in the buy zone, but it still doesn't have different classes that shake up the basic mechanics of the game. Only in TF2 do we have base classes that can change the basics of how you play. You can be a class that runs super fast and double jumps, or a class that can turn invisible, disguise as the enemy, and backstab them for an instant kill. We have a class that can specifically heal using a remote stream of magical healing juice, or use a crossbow to do it at an even greater length, and that same class can go invincible if they have enough of a charge. Those are all things that make TF2 special and unique in an age of many samey, semi-realistic shooters. And that's not even mentioning things like rocket jumping, flare jumping, or the now defunct Sigafu save. These are all things I have yet to really see in any other online multiplayer first-person shooter game, and they're all great. Now, how does this carry over to making competitive great? Well, to put it simply, official matchmaking doesn't restrict your team's classes or weapons. You're basically playing a slightly more organized pub match, and ideally you're going to take it more seriously in this game mode. That's great! Not restricting the major parts of what makes TF2 amazing is going to be what makes the matchmaking so fun when they finally iron out all the kinks. I even think that the random nature of the game, the ability for one team to change classes and loadouts to some strange setups, to stop the other team that's steamrolling them, to counter whatever anyone throws at them, all to have the other team do just the same back, the cycle continuing until one team has finally come out victorious, will make TF2 one of the best candidates for an early Spectator MLG sport. Crazy, right? But let's think about it for a second. The game is cartoony, which is friendly even to people who aren't familiar with games. The goals are simple: capture a flag, be king of the hill, push a cart to the end of the line, etc. Even people who haven't played the game can understand these game modes and have likely played in real-life versions themselves. And the teams and classes are easily distinguishable from each other. In games like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, everyone pretty much looks the same when they're on the same team, and especially in Call of Duty, all of the other player models look almost identical to you when in high-speed play. This all means that by comparison to other shooters, anyone watching could easily tell who is playing what class, on what team, what that person is attempting to do, and how well they're doing it. You could argue that all the different class functions make it harder to understand at a glance, and I agree, but the same can be said about a lot of traditional sports. Baseball, American football, football in the rest of the world, they all have strange rules that you end up learning as you watch and gain interest, and TF2 would be no different. Learning that the spy can disguise and backstab for a one-hit kill is quite similar to learning that, in baseball, a player can steal a base when the ball isn't in normal play. Apologies if that sports analogy wasn't worded well, I'm not the biggest sports fan out there. Clearly. I play games for a living, and none of them are baseball games. So maybe, just maybe, with the kinks ironed out of it, TF2 could be a major spectator sport, and the entry for many non-gamers into the wonderful world we all love so much. I could be wrong, but at least it's a positive outlook, and I do sincerely believe it's all possible for it to happen. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But hey, that's just a theory. A game. Wait. That's somebody else's show. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful day.